What's up, everybody? I'm here as the host, Shinichi, and
I'm the co-host, Kazaki.
of Tech Talk Podcast. So today we are here to talk about,
The device addiction.
and then this is our first ever episode. And then if we make any mistakes, please go easy on us. And then if you want anything to be better, please comment down in the comment section down below. Today we have a special guest with us to talk about device addiction.
Yep.
It's our one and only teacher Cora.
Wow. Thank you, boys. Thank you, boys.
Thank you, teacher.
Hello, welcome. So thank you so much. I'm so privileged to be part of your GP project.
Yeah.
And I hope I can share my insights and give some tips to our listener viewers about device addiction.
So welcome to our podcast, teacher. So before we start, could you briefly introduce who are you and what do you do in SISM?
Okay, so I'm teacher Cora Fernando and I'm an ICT teacher. So usually I teach different topics in ICT like programming, multimedia, certification, and also digital citizenship. So not SISM students, they will learn to be global citizen and digital citizen.
It's truly an honor to have you here, teacher. So let's move on to our podcast for today. So today we are aiming to really understand what really is device addiction. So as students living in the boarding house and all, we always are in contact with these devices. And then I think in these online lessons as well, we always use computers and stuff. But then we don't really know what really is device addiction. Can you just briefly explain to the viewers that what really is a device addiction?
Okay, so due to industrial change and also we usually use device on our daily lives. So we often use and rely to our devices. But then somehow, device addiction is a condition where person cannot continue to his or her natural routine without having the device on his hand or her hand, and also without engaging herself on any technological devices. So it also implies your full dependence to the device and subconsciously, so becoming over-reliance that impacts your emotion, social interaction, and also ability to focus. So in short, device addiction occurs when technology begins to dominate your life. So it also influences both your emotion and social well-being.
So teacher, do you think that using device for our studies and is also considered as device addiction, or only for those distractions like social media and other stuff? So what is your opinion on that?
Okay, so you can use device for your studying, but then if you usually use your device for entertainment, for leisure, and then you disregard to have some physical interaction, so that may consider device addiction.
So for me and Kazaki, we are really living in the boarding house. So we always wonder how much screen time is really okay, even if it's studying or social media, how much are we allowed to use it? Because I always see those Instagram shots that if you see too much, those rays will affect our physical and then mental health as well. So how many hours is really good for us?
For me, as my profession, in average, I usually 5 hours in a day to sum it up. But then for teenagers like you, usually 2 hours, 3 hours is the maximum time. So you can do your tasks, your assignments, and also the things that you need to accomplish using your device. So that is, I think, the average time that you can stay on your computer, 2 to 3 hours. But then for young young adolescents like 13 or 12 years old, we usually give them just an hour, 30 minutes to use the computer.
True. So, since you mentioned about you use your device about like average of 5 hours a day, so how would you feel if like let's say your phone like is being left at home or it's like oh it runs out of battery, like do you feel any kind of like void or any kind of feelings that you had during that time?
It depends. So if I'm at work and there's an emergency, definitely I feel a bit anxious and panic if I don't have my device. But then usually on my free time and I'm not expecting any urgent need to use my computer, I really enjoy or prefer to be away from my device. So I enjoy spending time walking, spending time having talking to your friends, chit chatting, and also food trips, going somewhere. So for me, I really appreciate those things rather than being stuck to my device.
So like one thing that struck my mind just now that like like young children these days, like as you mentioned, are still exposed to these devices. Do you think like they like I see those YouTube videos that like young children, young as like 4 or 5, are still like exposed to these content on like maybe YouTube. Do you think it's appropriate for them to like at such a age? Because personally, I was exposed like maybe like 9 or 10 around that age. So do you think like this generation is okay?
For me, it's really not suggested to give those young ages to have access to devices. So it is just a pacifier for them. Usually they bring it to their bed and doom scrolling. So instead of having time, usually it starts at home. So how you manage your kids. If the parents have ample time for them to have time and chit-chatting with their kids and have dinner with them. So I think they will not be so dependent to mobile devices. Usually if the parents at home, they give it freely to their kids. So it's very risky for them to be addicting to devices. So for me, I really suggest if the kids is 12 and below, they don't have device or cell phone. So if they need a computer for their studying, I really suggest having a desktop. So because desktop, they cannot bring it anywhere. So they will just stay then and have a strict rule that you can use it just 1 to 2 hours to do your study and not for leisure and not for entertainment. So usually they use their phone for entertainment and leisure. That's why the kids nowadays are being so addictive, like games,
Yeah.
Roblox. So because of that, they really being so addicted to devices.
I really agree with the point, like how like teenagers are really addicted to games and entertainment nowadays, and I truly can tell that device addiction is really important, and it's like a really crucial thing around the whole world. It's like affecting the whole world
Yeah.
like really in a negative way.